Great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline from She Rises Studios, and welcome to today's authors celebration. Uh, Today, we will be celebrating this a powerful book and the heartfelt release of Letters to Him, honoring fathers, grandfathers, and father figures. This timeless collection of letters is touching hearts across the globe, and we are thrilled to celebrate its incredible success. Letters to Him has officially become number one bestseller in multiple countries. Yay! Charting in over 35 categories across the US, Germany, Italy, and India, including Kindle Store, family relationships, memoirs, and motivational self-help. So congratulations to all inspiring authors who made this legacy piece come to life. Let's celebrate this beautiful tribute to the men who shaped our stories, and let's get started. So maybe we can, uh, we can start with Strada, and why don't you introduce yourself and let us know who you wrote your letter to and why it's important for you to honor him in this
So, should I go ahead? Yeah.
way. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. So, my name is Shraddha Sandwadkar, and I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I live here with my husband and two teens and three cats. And I coach women and children on self esteem and mindfulness. Um, this book, Letters to Him, I always wanted to kind of pay tributes to my grandfathers, and also I wanted to give some gift to my father when he turned 75. But this has come a little early. My father just turned 73 this February. And so, which is very good. So, this is kind of a gift uh, for him and my grandfathers. They have been very inspirational in my life. My father has been very resilient, and he has faced his own challenges, and he was an alcoholic when I was a child, until about I was age 15. And one fine day he just decided to quit, and within a year of deciding that, he was out of alcoholism, and he still is. And his life took a very positive turn, and he has helped several people run their businesses, and has been a CEO of companies. And so, seeing his vulnerability and his growth mindset inspires me as well to be resilient and have that growth mindset.
Hmm.
So I've written something about that in my chapter, and I've also written about my both grandparents, my dad's dad and my mom's dad. All three men have actually shared different elements or different qualities through their experience, or through their work. And so that's been very inspirational to me throughout my life. And that makes me even more of a whole person, because I've seen everybody from different angles, and having that experience is very enriching. And I have shared that in this chapter. Thank you,
Oh,
and I
that's
hope everyone
wonderful.
loves it.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Evelina?
Hi, everyone. I'm Evelina. I am the CIO and founder of Soul to Soul and Shine Your Light youth programs and camp. And I am also a certified coach. I am a speaker. I am a mentor. I'm a ministry leader. So I love all of those things. But I thought this book was a perfect way to just honor our family and the legacy. My grandparents on one side of the family, on my mom's side, came straight from Mexico into this country for us to live a better life and have the American dream. And then on my dad's side, they grew up in South Texas, which at one time was part of Mexico. And so just seeing their struggles and how much that they have sacrificed for us to have what we have now. I know my dad is handpicked by God and he's a true gift. So I wanted to make sure to honor my grandfather's abuelos and my father in this book, just because I don't think they would have ever imagined that they would end up having a granddaughter or great granddaughter, right? Generationally through the generations. And then my father, me being his daughter, that their book would ever, their story would be published in a book, letters to him. And so I just like wanted to honor their story as well as their sacrifice, their hard work, and their faith in the journey to be able to get us to where we are. And because they put such an importance in education and making sure that our generation had all the things that we needed, whether it was working 2 and 3 jobs. I mean, my dad started working very young, like in the field, picking asparagus and corn and just having a really hard life. And then he was drafted into the military, for just a couple of years, and then came back and married my mom. And then he changed the trajectory of our entire life. And I just really want to say thank you. And there's a lot of things we can give our parents, but this is writing his story in a book is something that will stay around forever. And I just am truly thankful for the blessing that God has given me, because I realize there's many families that are broken, and there are lots of people that didn't have a dad that was consistent, faithful, hardworking, loving, supportive. And even though it was really hard for my dad to launch me into the world, because through our culture, you want to keep your family and your kids very close. And it's hard to see them become professionals and chart unknown territories, but he has been there every step of the way, cheering me on. And we couldn't ask for like a better dad. And then he's an amazing papa to my daughter and all of his grandchildren. So I'm just really grateful. And this is the way to just say thank you. And I'm thankful to God and thankful to him.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I think that's true. These father figures, the men that have shaped whoever we are right now, they don't think at the back of their head, one day my daughters will honor me, write something about me. But I think, because they have such pure intention that they just want our lives to be better, to have a better future, it really helped us, you know, take the path and be where we are right now. So that's and I'm glad that you ladies have chosen to take this opportunity to write this book, because I know that a lot of people out there will relate to this and will say, yeah, these are some of the few words that I'd also like to tell my dad, my grandfather, or whoever their father figure is in their life. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Now, on that particular note, what is one memory that the person that you're honoring in this book that makes you, every time you remember that memory, it makes you either smile or, sense a tear of happiness in your face? Do you have any memory that you can share?
Sure. I'll be sharing three memories because I have written about three people. So the first one is regarding my dad. So in spite of not being very well off initially when we started, and with all his struggles, in spite of that, my dad always encouraged us, and he sent me on a trip to Gadwal Himalayas with a club when I was in 7th grade, and he did that with my sister as well. Both my parents supported that. So when my younger sister was in 7th grade, she was also sent, and even I was sent to that one. And those memories are so fresh in my mind. We didn't have cameras then; we didn't have anything. We don't have pictures, but that was such a wonderful experience experience that I had. And he has always looked after us. As we know, like in many countries, not all women are respected. The girl child is not respected, but me getting that much love, I'm very grateful for that. And same with both my grandparents. So the memory with my paternal grandfather, he used to live with us, and the he was very frugal. And also he was very disciplined, and so he used to wake me up. Doesn't matter whether it's weekend or whatever. If we are not up by 8, which I usually was, but if I'm not, then he would sing a song and make us get up. So that's very fresh in my mind right now. And with my maternal grandfather, my mom's dad, uh, he used to always, when I was small and my younger sister was born, he used to come to our city and take me with him to where they lived in India, in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. And those memories are very, very dear to me because I spent the entire summer vacation with them, with my grandparents, and used to tell ghost stories at night. And in the morning, it was all about faith and worshiping God. And these are the most favorite memories. Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's awesome. And it's actually, these memories are actually nice to share. Not just a memory for our own, but the stories that you can tell your kids, your grandchildren later on. And that's wonderful. Thank you. What about Evelina?
I have a couple that come to mind as well. One of the first best memories, my dad is a very easygoing, fun loving person. He loves telling jokes and he's never met a stranger, but they threw a big quinceañera, which is like a 15th birthday celebration, a coming out party from, being a child into a young lady. And my grandparents were there. Celebrating with us. I mean, the entire family, a big Mexican American family. So you can only imagine. I have I had 7 aunts and uncles on one side through my dad's side. At one time, one had passed away pretty young, but then on my mom's side, there was 8 siblings on that side. So just all the cousins from there and getting the whole family together. It was just this huge, amazing celebration that everybody could be a part of and we're just so excited for. So that always brings a smile to my face because the entire community and family came together for my quinceañera. And then our adventures growing up, like traveling, my dad had to sacrifice a lot. And my mom, we would make sure we took road trips. People don't do it as often because they can maybe afford to fly now. But those road trips really meant a lot to us because we would always make sure to take a couple weeks off in the summer to travel all across the country. We saw quite a few of the states getting to travel like that before you had to like sit in seats and wear seatbelts all the time, just kind of lay out in vans and drive all across the country. So that really brings great memories. And then another really specific memory that comes to mind is I got super sick in 2009 and I almost lost my life. I had a flatline 3 times and had seizures in between. I was super, what I thought was healthy, but had onset symptoms for a few years and ended up getting diagnosed with systemic lupus. But my parents were there every step of the way through that journey. I reverted to a childlike state. My dad was helping my mom, brush my teeth, brush my hair, take care of me until I fully recuperated through like physical, occupational, speech therapy. And I ended up having to live back with them in my late 20s when I thought I would be taking care of them. They ended up taking care of me again. And that just shows the kind of compassion and loving and supportive father that I have.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for these wonderful memories. It really brings like a some sort of a joy of into our hearts, just remembering how much they are willing to sacrifice, how much they've sacrificed for us. So thank you so much for sharing that. Is there any, if you would like to, if is there any specific takeaway that you would like your readers to have after reading your letters to the man that you're honoring in this book? What would that be? What do you think is the message that you'd like to share to the world through this book? Would like to share first?
So, the message that I would like to share with the world with this book is family love, family bonding, and that is above all. You don't have to really be rich to experience the richness. The richness doesn't come from money, it comes from the support, love, unconditional love shown by your dear ones. And every step of the way, my father as well as my grandparents, they have been immensely kind, loving, and supportive throughout my life. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Nothing can substitute unconditional love.
That's true. That's true. Yes,
It's a
Evelina.
beautiful message. Yes, definitely the same thing. We're living in a world that is trying to break apart families. Like everything else is so much more important. And the role of a father is so important in both boys and girls' lives. And even if you have had a rough start as a father, there's still time to make that right. And I just, want to give encouragement, but, we build our foundation on our faith with God, and with God, all things are possible. And family is the next big thing, is just making sure, taking time to come together when the world pulls you to do so many things and be so busy. Making time for family is a must. It's a priority to be able to keep traditions and your culture and like legacy alive. You need to make sure you make time for that. And my dad came from very small town. I don't ever think he would have thought we would be where we are now. And really, it just takes faith and hope and love and sacrifice and hard work. And I really feel that you can achieve your dreams, as long as you put God first. And so I want people to take away that, keep God and family at the core of all that you do.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so true. What would you say then to someone who may have already lost the man that they wanted to honor? How do you think this book can become meaningful to?
Even if somebody has lost their loved one, their father, know that he is still there in spirit and watching over you every minute, I'm pretty sure. And loved ones are always going to be loved ones, no matter whether they are in physical presence or not. I always believe that. And so hang in there and hold on to the memories and the best memories you have had throughout your life with your father, and cherish those memories and honor them, honor their qualities, whatever special qualities they have. Experience them yourself and express them. That's the way to honor them.
That's true. That's true. I love that. Yes, I believe.
You were cutting out when you were asking the question. So can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, yeah, sure, no worries. So, what would you say to someone who may have already lost the man that they wanted to honor in their life?
Yeah, I feel that you can continue to keep that legacy alive through the lessons that they have imparted on you. You can continue spreading that wisdom to the next generation by serving and loving others. I think there's still so much to do to keep someone's legacy alive, even if they have passed. And maybe someone didn't have a father figure in their life that they can give credit to. But I feel like opening up this book would definitely bring people hope in those situations, that there is good men, there is men. Like my dad is my first love and my hero. So, even if people haven't gotten to experience that, that there is people out there, and there's a way, just to, you can honor their legacy if they are no longer with you. But even if you didn't find that person, there's mentors, people you can reach out to. There's people more than willing to step into that role, even if they aren't biologically your father. And that, I've came across great mentor men, coaches that have helped, because sometimes when someone doesn't have a dad around, they need that. And so I know that there's people out there that you can call upon that will help you, especially maybe like in your church or your community. So maybe you just haven't reached out to the right places yet. So hold on to that hope. And if you have that person, you can still write about them, you can still share their stories even if they're not around. And that's how you keep their legacy alive. So keep doing that.
That's wonderful. That's so true. Doesn't have to be blood related. Um,
Yes.
and 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 there are, most of us are lucky to have that, father figure man in our lives, very present. But to some who might not be in that situation as us, there will always be that person. It's just a matter of recognizing. That's true. That's wonderful. If there's one word that you can describe your dad or the father figure that you're honoring in this book, what one word would that be?
It would
Yeah,
be
go ahead.
resilience for me.
Resilient. Yeah, awesome, wonderful.
I would say blessing.
That is
That
true.
is such
That
a super blessing. And I'm just so glad that God picked them for us.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, awesome. What? Thank you so much. Just before we wrap things up here, do you have any final messages for the audiences that listening right now, especially those reflecting on their own relationships with the men who raised them or have guided them? Do you have any final message, final words?
Final message is always love your family, and be, if you are going to be the father, then uh, express the same unconditional love that you received from your fathers or father figures. Always be the role model.
I would say love and forgiveness. You're going to you're going to get out what you put into a relationship. And sometimes it comes with a lot of heartache and grief and tough times. But with forgiveness, you're setting yourself free, and it's not about them, it's about helping you in the process. And so you can get to that place of being able to love unconditionally if you continue to forgive. And so I would just remind people, wherever they are in their journey, um, love your father, you respect your father, and just that's going to help a lot for you in this journey. And this Letters to Him is a phenomenal book because it's a gamut of a bunch of different stories that have come together that cover so many different aspects of what a father is. And so I'm sure that someone can relate to some part of the story, whether it was their grandparent, a great grandparent, like I said, a coach, a mentor, or their own father. So definitely go out, get this book. You're going to be blessed by it, seeing the incredible men, the heroes that are out there. Um, like I'm a daddy's girl, so daddy's girls that are out there, and even those that my grandfathers, they were amazing men as well that were able to role model great things. And then that's why my dad is the amazing person he is.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. What an incredible celebration of love, legacy, and the men who have helped us shape our lives. And thank you so much for uh, Shraddha and Evelina. Thank you for sharing your hearts through letters to him. This book is more than just a collection of letters. I think it's a keepsake, a tribute, and a reminder that fatherhood in all its forms deserves to be loved. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Letters to Him is now available on Amazon in both ebook and paperback. So grab your copy today. This is you can give this as a gift to the people, to the men that you are honoring, or um, just as a simple, a good read for you to help you reflect um, and share these moments with the rest of the office. Thank you so much, everyone, and grab your copy right now in Amazon. All right, until next time, bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.